Hey guys, good to see you again. Today, leading up to Melbourne Cup and following on from my blog, I'm going to do, I guess, a spring fashion inspired makeup and more focusing on how to wear a bright lip, so keeping everything else a little bit more neutral. So let's get started. I'm going to go in with my tinted Camera Ready primer, just to give it a bit of a smoother base. How red my ears are today. Okay. I'm just going to go in with High Definition Foundation in C35 to start with. Pump it out onto the back of my hand. And then I'm taking my stippling brush, my flat kabuki brush. I'm going to work that from the centre of the face outwards. And it's not going to be a super heavy coat, not a good choice of words, super heavy layer, because I am going to go in with a bit of cream contouring to build this look. Because if you're going to the races, you're going out for the day, obviously you want to be a little bit more glamorous. That's why we go to these things, so we can get dressed up. And I don't want you guys to be scared of contouring anymore, because it seems to be the biggest thing. So let's try and cover a bit of this red here. Okay, so foundation's on. You saw that I just did one pump and I've got that much left, so it is just a small amount. I'm just not, me personally, I don't like heavy foundation on my face. And I mean, I've been wearing it for over 12 years for work, so yeah. Anyway, so now I've done that, I'm going to go in with the Touch Up Veil in Brightener, which is like a salmon tone. And we're just putting it under the eye to brighten it. And I'm just going to press that out with my fingers because it warms up into that area and just helps it go on a bit thinner so we don't end up all creasy under the eyes. And I've got a bit of pigmentation there too, which makes it look a bit deeper, so this helps bring that out. I'm going to go in with Napoleon's High Definition Foundation Concealer Brush, which has got that end. And we're going in here. A more ashy tone, because I don't want to look orange. And we're working from the top of the ear to the corner of the mouth, keeping most of the colour to the ear. Corner of the nose to the outside of the eye. We're going to work just above that to help lift the eye. And you'll hopefully be able to see it soon. Just around the sides of the hairline. I tend to go across the top here, just a little bit. I've got quite a high forehead, so that's forehead, so that's going to push that back. And I'll work there again. And again on that cheek. There we go. Just a little bit on my nose. Why not? Let's take some chin off, shall we? So we just, I don't know if in there you can see, you sort of see a shadow and then you see the little extra bit. So if I push that up, we're trying to make it there. So we're going to work behind that and you just want to take it away. And hopefully you can see that in there. Because it's ashy, it's just going to look like a shadow, so don't stress about that too much. Then we're going to go in, I'm actually going to mix these two tones. I just find this one's a little bit too light for me, so we're going to mix them. And I'm going to use this as my concealer as well today. Again, it's just killing off a layer, I don't have to go extra. So obviously it's quite light, but you will see. being so lazy, not getting a smaller brush. Just around this mouth area because it tends to get a bit dark and dirty looking, so we want to pull that out. Okay, now this step is a little bit optional. If you're feeling pretty clever and tricky, what we're going to do is we're going to take, so I can see this one and this one, and I'm going to mix them to kind of create my foundation shade a little bit. And that's just going to help me blend the two together. So like a transition shade. So I've just mixed them up on the back of my hand. And I'm just going to put it there. So you've got 3 stripes happening and a little bit here. Just if you need more coverage anywhere. And for me, as you can see, my chin could definitely use some extra coverage. And then we're going to blend that all in. And I've just decided that I'm actually going to go in with this one just to warm it up a little bit. So I'm just going to work kind of on the top of just the cheek bits and the side of my temple with a bit of the warmth. And then all we do is go and blend it. So I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to start just working and blending it into the foundation. This is why we don't powder first when you're working creams with creams, because obviously you want to be able to blend it all in nicely together. You can put the light shade here, but I tend to do that once I've finished blending because then I know exactly where I want it. So I start with this brush first. I just feel it works it in and doesn't leave any cakey bits because it's working it into the skin and warming it up. And just most people get the contouring wrong because they don't work it all the way into the hair, so you're going to have this white patch and then dark. If you work it back in there, it's going to look like skin and it's going to look a lot more natural. So I'm going to get this bit off. I'm just working it in. Just try not to work it up any higher because that's going to take away your shadow line that you've tried to create. So you're working it in under your chubby bits. And we're just going to work up and down the nose to blend this out. And just whatever's left, run it into the eye socket so it blends away. Now what I'm going to do is just take my beauty blender. I know it's dirty, it's just mine and I filmed another tutorial today, so we're just going to work in that warm bit. So now I've got all the warm bits done, I'm going to start under the eyes and start blending that out. And I like the beauty blender because it doesn't wipe anything away on the areas where I was trying to conceal a bit more. And you just sort of stick with it. So hopefully you can start to see that sort of angle up on my eye and the creating of the cheek definition. I'm just going to go in with a little bit more because I kind of wiped it off with my buffing before. Just with a fine brush and just conceal those pupils a little bit more. So just taking a tiny little brush in with my skin colour that I created. I'm just going to sweep it back and forwards. It helps get a bit more on the brush. I'm just going to work over those separately to get rid of them. Got a lot of pimples. Right, problem diverted. Now I'm just going to go in with the dual powder in C3. Now I would hold this up, except I have broken my professional palette by dropping it because I use it all the time. I don't know if you can see that. And that's my favourite colour, so I'm just going to go in with a big fluffy brush. Now I use C35. And because I've already highlighted and contoured and set that foundation under there, I just go over the rest with one colour. You'll still see the variance. So, just pressing it in to set everything. And again, not crazy amounts of powder. Make sure there's no lines. So hard to work with broken palettes. I hate it, but can't waste it. And then we're buffing it down to blend it through. Okay, now we are set. I'm going back in now with the powder contour, and we're going to take this shade, number 4, and just work over those areas and build them up a little bit. So I'm going in with my Brazilian light bronzer. You see this in every shoot photo, I know. And big fluffy brush, and we're just skipping it all around to frame and warm up the outside of the face, and I always dust the tip of my nose. I'm going to go in with first blush. It's kind of quite sort of a nudie, but it's a rosy colour with a slight gold fleck. And we're just going to pop that on the cheeks. And I tip of my nose again. I know I've said it before, I just feel it makes you look a bit fresher. This is totally a personal preference. Try it. If you don't like it, don't do it again. Now we're going to highlight, and because I know we're wearing a bright lip, I'm going to go in with a little bit of a warmer highlight, and also to complement my skin tone and to make me look a little bit more bronzy. So this one is Vice. See it? Golden goodness. I'm going to apply it obviously on the high points of the cheeks and wrapping it around. And you just build it however much you like. Just don't go too close in here. You're just going to enhance those pores and make your skin look oily, so keep the highlights high up on the cheeks. A little bit on your nose, just through that centre section. And then on the cupid's bow. So if you just hold your lips normal and you run your fingers, it's going to naturally hit that highest point. Just softly. And it starts to lift that lip, which is a good thing to have prior to doing the lipstick. It'll kind of give you a bit of a guide as well. Okay, so we're going to go in and do the brows next. Won't do a full tutorial on this as I've done it in other videos, so just pop in and have a look at those if you're unsure. But I'm just going to go in with, if I can open it, I'm going to go in with my ash brown, at the front of my brows and the black brown at the end of my brows. Just trying to keep it a bit softer again because it's a day look and We just want to keep it nice and soft and fresh. So I'm actually going to start with the black brown and start about halfway down my brow and get these bits all filled in how they should be. Not like that. Oh my goodness. Right, well that thought, I'm going to get a mirror that I can actually see in. Ta-da! So, and it's moving, yay! Can't hold it still, so we're going to work the tail, get a bit fuller. And just remember, it's powder. It's easy to brush out, so don't freak out. Alright, brows are done. Now, eyes. We're going to keep it pretty neutral, so I'm just going to go in with sort of warm shadow. So I'm using my handcuffed palette, and majority just sort of be a matte colour over the top of the eye, and then we're going to use in through here. So I'm just going to go in with the light shade just here, and this is Pebbles, so it's just matte, and we're just going to work it over the whole of the eye area to set it first, and to brighten it up. So run that right up under the brow bone. And we're just going to go in with a fluffy brush, and I'm going to go in with the matte brown, just here. Now we're just going to work it into the crease area here. And then we just work it back and forward. If you don't put down that base shadow, you cannot blend your eyeshadows. The more you work over it, the more that will blend, the better it will look, and the easier it will be to do your makeup. Now we're working in here, and this kind of creates that contour of your eyes to help open it up. If you're slightly hooded like me, just here, you want to bring that eyeshadow up over this area. Otherwise, you're just making this deeper and this more hooded. So by bringing this up, it pushes it back, and it's going to open up the eye. Just taking a smaller flat brush, and we're just going to build up this corner. And you want to keep your shadow, just as a guide when you're blending, from the corner of your nose to the outside of your eye. You sort of want to keep all of your shadow on this side. That's going to help pull the eye up. So just as you're blending, just sort of try and remember that, but it is easy to clean up afterwards as well, so don't get too carried away with worrying about it. So once I've got it placed where I want it, I then just go in and buff it back off again. Alright, so I'm going to go in now with this bronzy shade. This is Hot Pants, and we're going to run it over the top of what we've created as a base. So with the soft fluffy brush, because I don't want anything really strong right now. Back in that corner, and we're just going to work it over the top again. Pebbles, which is the matte one, and I'm just making sure they blend from the eyebrow to the shadow, which means we just run it through here. Oh, there's a lot. It's more how it should be, and I just work it back and forwards. So I'm going to go in with this very neutral beigey pearl tone, and that's Way Cool, and we're going to press it into the centre of the eye. If you want it shinier, just wet your brush and it will go on a lot more pigmented and shiny. And then what we're doing is going back in with the warm shade here, creating a bit of depth under the lower lash line. And that just sort of creates a shadow behind the lashes, and again helps accentuate the eye. Make sure it joins to what you've done at the top, because that's important. And then we're going over it with Hot Pants again, which was the shimmery bronze tone. mascara at home. Okay, not going to put lashes on. I'm not going to put lashes on just yet. I'll do the lips so that you can see it like this, and then we'll amp it up a little bit.